Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Tuesday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. I'm Spencer Israel, as always, joined by Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick. On the show today, we were going to lead with earnings. Now we'll probably lead with this Amazon/JP/Morgan/Berkshire Hathaway news that's killing all the insurers, all the healthcare stocks, not all the healthcare stocks, just some of the healthcare stocks and some of the insurers. So we'll talk about that. Hitting Aetna on the day they had earnings. That's bad timing. Well, we do have some earnings to discuss. McDonald's just came through. It was a huge beat, as Diana Dawn noted in the chat. We'll get to your questions from our chats at premarket.benzinga.com and our YouTube chat as well. Our guest today, Nick Chahine, author of Create Income with Option Spreads. Joel, tell us how we're doing in the S&Ps.
Oh, we are in the red here by 13.5 points. Had a little rally after the close, only got to 58 even. Then the rug was pulled out. Went through the close through Monday's low. Your pre-market low was 31 even. That's one tick away from Thursday's low, so we'll be keeping an eye on that for a continued downside. Last week's low at 25.5. Crude, that rally into the 66 handle, short-lived now trading down 65 cents at 64.90. You have gold in the green just by a little bit, by $1.20, and silver in the green by a nickel at 17.18. And we're going to bring in Dennis right now because there's a lot of news out there. Dennis,
what about Bitcoin? I didn't hear the Bitcoin price.
Oh, I saw it. It's been.
You didn't give Bitcoin the love.
It just hasn't been moving lately. It's got to
start. Well, it's consolidating to move higher, isn't it?
Are you
That's
getting
what I heard on my Twitter. That's what my Twitter feed told me.
$10,878.83 needs to hold.
Talk to us about the Bitcoin technicals for 30 seconds. Is this consolidation to go higher? Because everybody on Twitter, all my technical analysts that I'm looking at are saying consolidation to go higher. Does it look like that to you? Or does it look like consolidation to go lower, or just consolidation? We don't know which way yet.
Just like always, man, I'll give you a level. That level's 90, just under 9,500. That's been the low of the move. Psychological.
That's where the Bears win.
That's where the Bears win. A close under 10,000 would be another victory for the Bears. 12,000 just can't. It rallied 1,000 points, I believe, 2 days ago. Couldn't get over 12,000. So sell the 14,000 calls, and I don't know about selling the 8,000 puts though. I really would like to see a good flush out like the 5-6 grand, and then all that institutional money and Dennis money on the sidelines will be coming into Bitcoin.
There you go. Anyways, I do have money on the sidelines. It's in stocks, and today you're glad it is. This is a 2-day move here in the S&Ps. We're down here this morning. Obviously, we were down yesterday, closed down, and you were giving a statistic to me in the pre-market show. This could be the first 2-day down move in the S&P since when?
December 19th and 20th.
Wowzers.
Can you believe that?
So it's been over a month since we have had 2 consecutive down days. I don't think I've been in trade 19 years professionally. I can't remember that. Has that happened? A month without 2 days, down days in a row?
It's it's an absolute.
It's good for the market. Yeah, it's good for bulls.
Yeah, you got to forget about it. This market's toast. No, this was back in December 19th and 20th. So but you are absolutely 100% convinced that this market's going to close green today, right?
Nah, I'm just saying they might want to fight that streak. So you don't count your chickens before they're hatched, Bears. Well, we've seen this before where buyers come in after the open, it'll buy up and BTFD all the stocks. So we'll see here. I'm not counting the bulls out though yet.
All right, I owe you 2 steak dinners, right?
Yes.
I'll give you 5-1. So I'll owe you 10.
5-1 odds?
Yeah, that we do not close green on the session.
Holy cow, this is hard to take. I don't want to bet both the steak dinners. But you know what? I don't even know you can pay me 7 steaks.
No, it'd be 10, Dennis. Okay,
Yeah, but no,
7.
I'm saying if I did just one, I might do one of them.
One of them?
5-1 odds you're giving me.
Yep.
I feel bad for you taking your money like that, taking your steaks like that. 5-1 odds is pretty good. You know what? You want to retract? I do it on 1 steak.
I mean, I got some Omaha steaks been in the freezer since.
He's gonna send me a pack.
Do you have any Trump steaks though?
No.
Okay.
I'll do one. I'll do one. All
right, 5-1 odds. I'm all over it. I like those numbers. I like those odds you're giving me.
It has to close green. It's not gold
close green.
Okay.
Close green. So you're looking at the 415 close and that's P futures.
Yeah, and we're going with the futures. We're not going with
415 close. They have close green. You give me 5-1 odds. I'll go with it. Obviously I don't think so, but 5-1 odds. I take it. I'll take it. Hey, you get 7 steaks. You're done, Joel. You're in so much trouble now.
And I like that. Okay.
You're gonna owe me so much steak. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor and get an extra cholesterol pill after eating all those steaks.
All right, let's cover some real news here, and I think there's a lot of news out there. But boy, the biggest news of the morning here, Spencer, hit us with it.
Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and JP Morgan are going to partner on a new U.S. employee healthcare company. And that is literally all we know because the press release came out at 7 a.m. gives no details at all, other than that they're going to use their expertise to reinvent healthcare and improve the U.S. employee satisfaction and reduce costs. And that's all we know about it. More details to come, supposedly.
All we know as well is health insurers absolutely destroyed on this headline. Bring up UNH, the biggest of them all. It is trading down a cool 6% here this morning. And this is maybe one reason why you might get that steak dinner, at least one of them back, Joel, because the health insurers are going to put pressure on this overall market. We're down 16 points in UNH. That is a huge move.
That is a huge move. Pre-market low, 28.25. Then you came back in the next bracket with a 28.5 low. That's nice. It fills a gap that you had when you had a 28.64 close. So people were focused on that January 12th close. Underneath that, 26.52. Before we go into the other technicals here, on this and discuss these other stocks, is this just, retail again and all over again? And it's just a big buying opportunity and all these issues. I mean, how long is it going to take?
Day one, though. Day one.
I don't. Oh no, I'm not saying no. Definitely early. But look at. Do I have to bring up a chart of Kohl's here? And all these other stocks.
You're really going on a tangent here. So yeah, Joel's making the argument that when stocks get Amazon, eventually they do come back. And Kohl's, we know, we saw Costco get Amazon before, and it came all the way back to all-time highs. Walmart got Amazon as well after the big purchase of Whole Foods. Everybody thought Walmart was in trouble there. So he's just arguing that eventually these companies come back. I will argue that they do stay down in the gutter for a while, though. Yep. So I'm not coming in on day one after this big headline. I want to get more information. I want to do more analysis. And I'm not jumping in here this morning just because UNH is down 16 points because it's a scary headline. And not only UNH, let's talk about the other insurers. Maybe we can fly through these charts, Spencer. Aetna, which reported earnings here this morning. That's not even going to matter if they reported well because this is obviously going to be down here. So AET, you can go to CI. That is trading down a cool 13 points here this morning. There's a ton of these. WCG is another one, which is wild here. It has not traded yet, but it is offered down $3. I'm telling you, it's going to trade a lot lower than that. 217 the close. This thing could see $200 here today. Just popping these off the top of my head. Humana is obviously a huge one. HUM is down 17 points here in the pre-market, trading at 274. It is healthcare Armageddon, Joel. Any charts you liked out of all those?
We just ripped through them too fast. We're gonna.
It's gonna be on the pre-market show. We got to do it. We only got. You got to fly. Get you guys the information.
You forgot about Walgreens, Boots Alliance trading down.
Those are getting hit too.
And CVS is getting hit too. I mean, I just think a general rule of thumb here is look at your pre-market low, okay? And if you get continuation through the pre-market low, then just look for your next daily low. I'm giving away the secret sauce. And if that pre-market low coincides with the current daily, with a daily low, then you even got a better number there. But a lot of reaction in these stocks. And also, I mean, how long is it going to take for them to implement? Is there anything on that, Spencer?
No, there's nothing on that. But I am reminded of this PR reminded me of a video I saw on Twitter last week. It was a fireside chat with Jeff Bezos, and the question was, what do you say? What do you think? What do you say when analysts congratulate you on a good quarter on your conference calls? And he says, thank you, but really there's nothing he can do to control the results of this quarter. He said, the results of this current quarter were baked in 3 years ago. The work I'm doing now will affect quarters in 2020. I can't control what happens next quarter. It's already done. It's already baked in. That work already happened. And what I'm working on now will be, 3 or 4 years down the road. And this just reminded me of that. It's just how far in advance he's
Who said that?
Jeff Bezos.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's a big step. I mean, they're trying to, that's probably the biggest, threat to, our economy, our legacy healthcare costs. I condemn them for doing it. Also, you're bringing in Berkshire Hathaway into it, who, has great Geico commercials. I mean, it's an awesome trio they put together. We'll see how long it takes things to actually get going. And, I don't know, just very interesting. I'm waiting to be anxious to hear more details on it.
Market is pricing in risk in that sector, and that's what you got to know. There is major risk being priced in all those stocks. Let's talk the major two drug stores as well here, because CVS is getting absolutely annihilated in the pre-market here too. They actually caught an upgrade today, but that does not matter. CVS getting upgraded to strong buy at Needham. Who has bad timing for strong buy from Needham? With this headline that just broke, because right now, if you look at the close, it closed at 83.63. Needham put a $100 price target on it. They're already 7% underwater right off the presses after they upgraded the stock. So obviously, upgrade doesn't matter here this morning on this news. CVS down $6.
And looking to go down even more. Your pre-market low as it stands is at 77 even. You're trading at 77.32. You got a number here, folks. You got a gap to fill in this one, which it may well do today. 74.68. You had that as a low, and then there was a gap in that trading session from 73.90. So let's keep an eye on $74 if you want. If you're looking for more off this, if you could take out the pre-market low. WBA holding up a little bit better. That had your spike low to 75.70, now trading firmly back in the 75 handle. This one found a good support. You had 3 lows under 76. This was back in mid-January. So there's a couple stocks to look at in that sector. But the reason Dennis is not buying healthcare is because he's putting all his money into Wynn Resorts today.
Yeah, at the 160 support, maybe it bounces there. But yesterday on the show, obviously, I told you it wasn't just brand tarnished, it was brand annihilation. And we were talking about this when the stock was 174 and saying I see more downside with it. Well, another day, 13 more points to the downside. Wish I would have been betting on the downside. So I didn't like it, but I didn't sell it short. So should have been shorting in the hole. Down to 160 here this morning. It did catch another downgrade, I believe. Who downgraded Spencer this morning? City? You got the pro in front of you. You know everything.
How did you just know I said I don't know under my breath? I was on mute. It was under my breath. How did you know?
I heard you say it. Who is it? You weren't on mute, obviously.
I was. I said it under my breath.
Well, you were muted. I hear everything. So, I'm all hearing, Spencer. I have your office bugged.
How did you know that I said that?
I know everything.
I think it was City, but I don't know for sure. So let me confirm right now.
Go confirm right now who downgraded. Late to the party a little bit, but you know what? Maybe not. This 160 level. Okay, this is big. It's got to hold here, and it's trying to hold in the pre-market. You have multiple lows from early in January, earlier this month, where we broke out from. So, and this was all old resistance back November, December. Classic technical level where it could bounce so fast, so much bad news. I don't know if I'm banking on it. If I was short, I might bring it in at this level. I'm watching the 160, though, to see how it responds. If it can hold 160 in the regular session, maybe you can get a nice little bounce here, but still brand annihilation. I still think long-term stock could be in trouble unless, he gets cleared of all these allegations.
158.80, that's your pre-market low. Some decent volume being traded with that. You also, where was this low here? You had a low under 160 at 158.91 on December 8th, but let's just not get too picky. 160, and as much as it's been going down and stuff, it did have some rallies yesterday, so be prepared for some of those whipsaw rallies. But 158.80, that's your pre-market low.
And it was UBS from yesterday? Is that what you're referring to?
No, there somebody today downgrading it as well? I got to go look.
I don't see anything from today. I saw the UBS one yesterday.
I'm going hunting. I thought I saw something. Right. Maybe I dreamt it up. I dream up stuff in my sleep. So, yeah, maybe you're right. No, yeah, it was UBS today. Yeah. UBS today.
I had that yesterday, but all right.
You had yesterday's news today?
That's how good Ben
Pro is getting really good, man.
That's how good Ben Pro is. No, it was there yesterday. Unless, I think it was a midday note. No, all right, whatever.
Maybe it was midday. Whatever. No. Okay. Anyways, I've got it on there this morning on my list, but maybe it's because it's from midday. I thought that was this morning, but if you're getting tomorrow's news today, I'm subscribing to Ben Pro right now. All right, jump over here to the earnings parade, and we don't have an 8:15 guest, do we? I never verified that.
No, we don't.
Okay, so yeah. See, I'm supposed to verify this stuff in the pre-market show, but I started flying and trading and stuff, and then I didn't realize that. We know we got Nick here in 20 minutes, though. We love Nick, so he's going to be on here coming up. But since then, we've got a few earnings stocks to cover. Let's go to the big gun from this morning. That is Mickey D's. MCD reporting earnings here, and the stock is trading down.
Q4 EPS $1.71, sales of 5.34 versus 5.23 billion dollars. Global comp sales increased 5.5% in the quarter.
Oh, I don't know. Numbers may be okay, but again, stock has been running, it seems like forever. I'm going to go to the buck here while you do some technicals, Joel. I think there's got to be some size up of 180. Not
right. You've never been up there, correct? Yeah, your all-time high, Mickey D's, 78.70, and that is a double top because 78.40 was your high on Friday. Your all-time closing high, 78.36. So I think anything in the 1.7, well, we're not too far away from that, $1.25. So things should start to thicken up here in the 177, lower 178 handle. Coming back on the downside, see that pre-market low, like that quick dip to 176. Nothing on the daily charts to verify that being a low. It very well could be. 175.01 is your 2-day low, and then you have two other lows in the 174 handles. So as of right now, taking out 175, but your best level is probably your double bottom just under 174, 173.88, 173.90. And just going longer term on this stock, I mean, this thing, didn't move for years and years and years, and then it finally just got going. Why is this not giving me a monthly chart? And then it just took off and it's been gone. But we'll see if sellers want to come into it at all today.
I think there's some underneath demand here. I think this is the day, and I'm kind of regretting this bet with Joel, even though it's 5-1. He gave me great odds. I'm like looking at my screen. I am struggling, and I mean struggling to find anything that is up today. This is a broad-based sell-off. Because even gold is not rallying that much. Usually when you're down here 2 days in a row, S&P's gold is going to be taking off. It's not even up much, but I got financials down significantly. I've got oil down significantly. I've got the retailers down significantly here in the pre-market. We've obviously got the healthcare annihilation here today. I got all the big guns like Boeing and CAT all trading down here too. Man, this is a broad-based sellout, Joel. I think it was a good day for you to make a bet with me.
Yeah, I can't believe he did that. Back. I almost
feel 5-1. Just because he gave me so much odds. I'm like, it's got to be 20% of the time we come back to the green when we're down, especially in this market. So I had to take it just because the odds gave 3-1. I said no. 5-1. I was like, I'm not losing both steak dinners. I need to get at least one steak dinner for you. But you know what? I think you're going to win the bet. But I had to do it just because of the odds.
Okay. All right. That's it. Good risk reward, Dennis. Always
risk reward. It's what life is about, guys. It's all risk reward. Everything you do is risk reward.
And it's not helping that Apple's just not selling iPhones anymore. I mean, that's
Are you initiating a sell short on Apple? That's my stock.
No, I'm not.
That's my baby.
What's the news today on Apple to take it down another couple of sticks?
Market down. Oh, come on. The market's down. It's got to go down, right? That's how we work.
We got
so Apple's down another. Apple's down
suppliers.
2 more points here this morning. I mean, it's been in a 4-day, bummer here for the longs. Obviously, I own this one of my invest portfolio. I'm sticking with it. Had it in there for a long time, not getting rid of my Apple position, even though everybody else is saying, whoa. And you had somebody on Fast Money saying, maybe they should change management. I was like, isn't that a little bit tough? It has 3 down days. Now you got to change management. That's getting a little bit extreme for Apple. But now let's go back to the earnings break because there is a lot of stocks to talk about. And Chad, if you want to talk about any specific issue, let us know and we will jump on that as well. Pfizer reported earnings here. It had been running ahead of the report. PFE now trading down here. I think, obviously a lot of the drug stocks are down as well on this headline there. But Pfizer's earnings, how were they?
Q4 adjusted EPS 62 cents, which is a 6-cent beat. Sales of 13.7 versus $13.68 billion. So they beat on both for Q4. Guidance for the fiscal year coming in higher than the estimate. EPS guidance, that is, sales guidance coming in line.
$40 was the level. It did not get there yesterday. It got up to 39 and change, 39.43. There's some size if I look at the book at 39.50. And then 40 was just absolutely huge of size in the book. So I don't think there's a chance it reverses. But if it did, for whatever reason, and we always live in possibilities too as traders, not only probabilities, but possibilities. Gets anywhere in the upper 39s, there's resistance all over the place. But Joel, talk to us. How high is Pfizer? Did it rally a little bit here in the pre-market or straight down?
It did. What time did the report come out? Because you did have it trading in the 39 handle. Traded up to 39.98. Wow, that was
Did it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm kicking myself because I said if it got up there, I was going to short it, and then 6:48 this morning, and I wasn't at my desk. I was playing with my kid actually, and then I missed it. So it cost me money.
Big down move here. You've got a finding support at 38.26, 38.23. That's your pre-market low. Let's see if we can find anything on the dailies to confirm that. No, what was this candle here? Why did Pfizer go absolutely crazy a couple days ago? How did we miss this? From 37.23 to 39.01. Oh, that was a crazy market day. That was the crazy market day on Friday. They were just buying everything. So coming back on the downside, boy, oh boy, below the pre-market low, there is nothing until 37.30. Is that correct? Another buck from here, but it's only down on 300,000 shares. But boy, oh boy, this is a scary looking bar. I'm sure a lot of people that even bought on that day could still hit bids and get out for a profit.
Jump over here, just a couple other earnings, and maybe we can fly through these because there was a lot of companies that reported. We had Rambus last night. We had Hog this morning. Also GLW reporting. It's one of the few stocks that are still in the green here. Nucor Steel, NUE. We've had that report this morning. We had Harris Group. Obviously, we had the Aetna report. We had AKS, so we had another steel stock report here this morning. Polaris. Where do you want to go? Polaris is really getting the beats here this morning. Maybe we should go there. PII.
Don't they make snowmobiles?
Yep.
Okay, what do you got?
There's a bunch of them up there at my cottage. I see the Polaris and the Bombardier ones just flying around there around my cottage in the wintertime.
PII $1.47, which was the estimate, sales of 1.43 versus $1.36 billion. Fiscal year EPS guidance coming in, I guess you could say higher. The 6.03 was the estimate, and they see $6 to $6.20. So mostly higher EPS guidance for the fiscal year. Sales guidance for the year coming in light. 5.61 billion was the estimate. 5.43 is what they see for the year.
The beats. PII down $9 in the pre-market here. 125. I'll tell you though, you do have some support you're coming into, Joel. Those mid 122, 123 are at lots of lows in December and January. That's the level it needs to hold.
Yeah, 124.50. That is your pre-market low. Looking at the daily charts here, 3-4 lows under 125. The lowest of those lows, well, that 122.28. But I think Dennis is talking about more of the three lows in the 124 handle. That was January 10th and January 11th, 24.19. 24.59. But once again, here's a stock, since October, 105, goes up over 135. A lot of people, anybody that bought, all the way up to here is still sitting in the profits. They don't like to report. They don't care. It's down $9. They're just going to go out and hit it and, book their profits.
Jump over here, just a couple other reports. Let's go to the GLW one. It's one of the few stocks that are trading up here after the report this morning. Corning is getting a little bit of a lift. It got more of a lift, and now it's coming off those highs. How did Corning do?
49 cents versus a 47-cent EPS estimate, and that's all I got.
I had a little pop, Joel, but it's giving it back here too. Can it stay green? Because I'm looking through all these earnings stocks, and I'm having trouble finding any that are staying green here today. It's a red day.
Yeah, 335 even. That is your pre-market high, backed off to 34.40. So a little bit of damage here. 35, nice round number for the issue. Let's look at the dailies. What do we get up to? What's that high right there? What do you know? Triple top and from your daily sessions, 35, even 07, 35, 10. And also 30, oh boy, just a bunch of highs. And now we're just congregating at 35. So that would be a major breakout there in GLW. And then I'm just thinking about this one from financial crisis, Dennis. Remember, or not financial crisis, the tech bubble. All-time high in this one, 110 even. So long ways to go.
Wow, it got to 110 during the tech bubble. You're going back 18 years ago.
What was it, Dennis? What was it today? What was it, like fiber optic? Well, there was.
Yeah, I think so. The glass and the fiber optic cables.
It was going to be.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They found reasons to buy stocks up to ridiculous valuation. Like I said, Walmart had a PE of 50 back then. That was Walmart. The PEs were crazy back then, and still companies haven't recovered to some of them have not recovered to those levels. Unbelievable.
All right, just
jump over here.
Go ahead.
Jump over here. Okay, so one more earnings stock, and then I'm going to have a rant. I'm going to go to SMG, which is Scott's Miracle Grow, and everybody's been talking about the play with this, even fertilizers and the pot stocks, all kinds of different angles here with Scott's Miracle Grow, but no angles this morning. SMG getting the beats as well. It's trading under $100 here right now. Closed at 107, so it's losing 7%. Spencer details SMG.
$1.08 loss versus a 94-cent loss estimate, so that's not good. Sales of $221.5 versus $238.5 million. So they missed on both the Q1 numbers. They are increasing their EPS for the fiscal year by 45 cents. So that's something.
Yeah, down 7. Technicals, that's only we can really talk about this here. I'm looking at it from a fundamental standpoint. It's hard to say, where this is going, obviously off an earnings report here, but technicals can always tell us a bit of a story. $100 psych, it's a big $100 psychological level here. Thoughts here if we do breach this in the regular session?
Pre-market low 99.50. Let's take a look at your daily charts, and $100, little gap to fill in here to where was your gap from 98.46. No gap here. I'd see a low at 99.90, and then after that it falls off to 97.54. So losing $100 psychological level. We'll see if that can hold. It's like, once again, there's people still sitting on some major profits in this thing. So, just be careful here if you're trying for a scalp off like the pre-market low or a long. I mean, stocks do get these rallies and stuff, but you just have to remember people have a lot lower cost basis than you. We're getting stocks all over the place here. I'm looking at the Google YouTube channel and Dennis Twitter. What a wild day in Twitter yesterday. And then it even got going. Did you see any news after hours?
It was going after hours too, a little bit of follow through, but it's giving it back here now. I didn't really notice any after hours news there. Truthfully, I actually had a party last night. I had to take off after this 5 o'clock, so I'm only trading an hour of the after hours. Normally I trade the whole thing. But I could tell you right now, hot off the press, Twitter has a buy imbalance this morning. 65,000 shares that just came out here at 8:30. Stock is trading down on the pre-market, down 23 cents.
Was it another Canadian holiday yesterday that you had a party for?
You give me after hours. Joel says you can't quit work at 5 p.m. You can't quit work till 8 p.m. What are you doing over there? We need this information of the after hours trading for a pre-market show. Now, it was actually one of my friends' 30th birthday. I mean, that's incredible because obviously I'm well over 30, but it's nice to see 30th birthday party went to last night. So happy birthday, Ashley.
Actually, yeah, there's been rumor. I mean, you had the double catalyst on Friday. You had some rumors of takeout. I mean, how many times have we heard that? Then you had Andrew Leff come in and talk about his $35 price target. So a couple different things. I mean, the big number you want to keep an eye on Twitter, and it got up there in the after hours yesterday, January 12th high, 25.85, and it got right up there. I saw it after hours. How high did it get after hours yesterday? 25.83. So, just call that 26. Your big level to keep an eye on here in Twitter.
Ed Parker in the chat, just to say why it was trading up last night. He said fast money gave it a lift.
Oh, really?
That fast money, they move stocks. And you know what? The moves are usually short-lived. I'll be honest with you. Sorry, fast money people, but I often do fade your moves because sometimes sometimes they just move too much. I mean, when you see these things sometimes move a couple percent after hours because somebody on fast money likes it, that often does get faded. So I'm usually a fader. Not that, I like it. I love the fast money people. Nigerians are all great. They make great calls. But, when some of these things move 3-4% because somebody on fast money likes it, it's too much too fast. It shows you, again, it's a retail-driven market. Yeah. That never used to happen, but it happens now. But let's just talk about CNBC here for a minute because they're moving stocks, but they're moving stocks sometimes on news that isn't good here lately. And what I mean by that is CNBC has always been, they've always been very credible with their news releases. Usually when, CNBC reports a rumor, there's usually something to it. But, it started with the Tesla AMD stuff where AMD, Tesla obviously came out, or there was news, a rumor from CNBC that AMD was working with Tesla. That didn't materialize. There was nothing to that. AMD, Tesla both denied the reports. Then we had the Juniper incident where Juniper was going to get bought by, I can't even remember who it was. Who was it, Spencer? Do you remember? Somebody was going to buy Juniper. And Juniper went from like 27 bucks to
Nokia. That was Nokia.
Nokia.
That was back in November.
This was reported by CNBC, special exclusive to them. Again, that night, Nokia and Juniper deny the report. And Juniper goes all the way back down. Third time last night. So this is reported just before the close that Maxim Integrated Products, MXIM, going to get bought by some Japanese company. Do you have that in front of you, Spencer?
Renaissance is, I think.
Renaissance. I think it's a Japanese company. Anyways, so yesterday, right at the close, stock goes from $58 to $74.94 on this CNBC rumor. Again, last night, companies deny the report. So Renaissance denies report that is in talks to acquire Maxim. Stock goes right back down to where it was. So I don't know what they're doing there. Are they just, jumping the gun? Are they, getting information that obviously, they're not getting? The sources that they got right now aren't as good as they used to be. That's what I'm going to argue here. And, nothing against CNBC. We obviously have, relationships with a lot of people on the show, but they've got to get the sources better because this is the third time now that they've come up with this significant rumor and it hasn't materialized.
And that's, when we talk about, the pre-market action and a lot of things that are going on, I think the biggest thing that we could stress is, if you have a profitable position and it's moving in your favor and you have a target, I mean, Maxim, let's say you had a $70 target in it for some unknown reason, and you're watching the news, they put it out there at $70. You're not feeling too good when it goes to $74.94. But, these moves could be actually, Dennis, there's some really people stuck on this. Did you see the volume on the close on this thing?
It was great. Well, you got a credible CNBC is a credible source. They usually get this stuff right, but they haven't been lately. And that's why I'm challenging, their sources now on some of this stuff, because their rumors are not materializing lately. And that is not normal. When Bloomberg breaks a report, or Reuters breaks a report, or even Benzinga, usually something to it. But the last few times with CNBC here, there's been nothing to it. And that's, a concern
dangerous.
for me. I said it to last night. I said to one of my brave traders, we were trade Maxim and trade after hours, and I was just like, be careful on this, because this is a CNBC report, just exclusive to CNBC, and the last couple they've broken haven't materialized. So just be careful. And that was the last. And then he texted me about 2 hours later. He's like, you were right. And because I was actually at my party and it came out at like 7 o'clock last night, they denied the report. That is unbelievable that, again, they don't get it right. So now I'm totally cautious on the CNBC stuff. I would not be paying up 20% for a stock on a CNBC rumor right now, because the rumors aren't materializing lately.
All right. It is that time on Tuesday morning at 8:35 where we bring in Nick Chahine. He is the editor, or whatever, the writer, the founder of Create Income with Option Spreads. We got a lot of, we're going to start out with asking him a lot of stocks.
Let's take a quick break, because I got the Skype update. It's being a little weird. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to grab Nick Chahine of Create Income with Option Spreads. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, traders and investors, to Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep, brought to you by Benzinga Pro. I'm your co-host, Joel Elconin, along with Dennis Dick and Spencer Israel, trying to work the boards here. And Nick, we got a lot of questions coming out of the chat here. So get your charts ready. And if I don't ask you about MZOR, I think Ed Parker is going to come to Detroit and beat me up here. So Mazer Robotics, MZOR. Let me see if there's anything going on in the pre-market before I throw you under the bus on this one. MZOR is trading up only 18 cents at 64.48. Nick, I don't know if you follow this one, but I know you can give us some technicals.
Yeah, I do follow it just because I have a few friends that do, and they're on me all the time. Hey, look at MZOR. It's up 6%. It's up 5%. So it's definitely a bullish performing stock in a bullish economy, obviously, stock economy, I should say. So I would not short this guy. I don't know the fundamentals. The technicals are definitely bullish, and there's no reason to short it. And it's kind of like butting up against some sort of a neckline of sorts here. So after the recent dip, they took a little bit to come back to where they are right now. So if they can bust through this area, there's plenty of upside to go. I would not short it. If I'm long, I'm not getting off it.
Would you sell calls or something in it?
I would probably sell calls to put them to work, only if I'm willing to. Yeah, selling calls will just commit me to be the shares be taken away from me, which is not a disaster, right? So if I sell, I don't know the premiums that are available. If it's worth it, yeah, I would sell calls. In fact, I would sell calls on all of my stocks unless I have a tax reason not to.
Okay, EDIT. Ed wants to ask you about that too. EDIT.
Okay. I don't know that one, and it's had a recent spike, I believe. I don't know what it's doing this morning, but again, there's not a lot. Okay, so hold on. Let me zoom out to 5 years. It looks like it's had some action. All right, so if I look at the weekly, this was at these levels back in 2016, if I can squint enough here. So when it takes this long to get back to the place, so two things can happen. People that are stuck up there will decide to get off. Or if it takes this long and then they emphatically go through it, then the rally is hard. Just like the Intel thing. If you remember months ago, we talked about a super spike in Intel just based on a very long cup and handle or rounding bottom. And this is similar. But if I'm long, I would probably book profits. And if I want to stay long, I'll do a stock replacement strategy where you sell your stock and you book your profits, and then you allocate some profit money to buying calls. This way, you're still long the stock, but with much less on the line.
Barron's took that line from you over the weekend. Just wanted you to know the old stock replacement strategy.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. You mentioned Intel. That's another stock here coming out of the YouTube chat. I'm not sure who asked about that, but could you give us some thoughts on INTC? Great day on Friday. I guess there weren't any problems with those chips. No big deal.
Yeah, I think there are problems because I had a couple of updates that were kind of weird. But they said, I thought the reaction was kind of overdone because of the one headline. But Intel is in a multi-year breakout, and I'll show you the chart that I drew. This chart long time ago, and I drew the yellow cup handle long time ago, and I said in theory Intel should be in the mid 50. It's 50, so I drew that red arrow up to like 52, and here it is close to it. So do I chase Intel at these levels? No, but I don't have a reason to short it. If I'm long it, I'm happy. I book maybe all and replace it with some call spreads. Even if I bought calls and they're really profitable, I book some and replace or spread them if you know how to do that. So there are ways you can book profits without getting off the stock being long. So there you can still participate long, but at least put some in the pocket.
All right, let's see here. What MGM? Boy, oh boy! Nick, are you getting? First of all, I'm going to ask you getting down and dirty in the win yet, and then comments.
I did.
On
I sold puts in win. You know me, I'm contrarian. I don't believe that there's so much money involved that I don't believe they're going to let this one sink over one person. Even his name is on the. I mean, if Apple can survive Steve Jobs, this one can survive Win. That's my opinion. So on a gamble, on a trade, I sold long dated puts below current prices. So I manage that risk for now, and I don't mind owning the shares. I mean, it's not expensive. Oh, you asked me about MGM, so I'm sorry.
No, I wanted your thoughts on Win too, but go ahead. Go with the MGM now.
Well, I don't know what it's doing this morning, but it's maybe it's taking away some of the win money. I thought I read or heard a few people saying, well, if money has to be in casinos and it's fleeing MGM at such an alarming rate with such high volume, where is it going to go? So if people are allocating money to the casino trade, MGM is probably picking up the slack. I'm not sure, but technically MGM at 34 and a quarter was a neckline that was breached. And once that happened, then this was the measured move up to here. So if I'm long MGM, unless they have earnings coming, I would book some. And if I still want to stay long, I would definitely want to do some other cheap way of being long MGM. And spreading a stock is a good way. So if I own calls and they're profitable, I can sell calls where above them, collect some money. This way I kind of book my profits and I'm still long to the difference of that spread.
Let's go here right to Red Hat from Down War Dog. Haven't heard from him in a while. RHT, any thoughts on Red Hat?
I haven't looked at the stock in a while. So almost the same situation where it's run so fast, I can't get long it at this point. So I would say I missed this trade. If I'm long it, happy me. But I'm looking at the weekly. On the daily, yeah, it's too high for me. It's one of those THCH, too high to chase and too hot to short type of a deal. So I'll wait for a dip to get in. I bet you I'll find better entry points, especially if the market's correct. See, now all the experts in the media are saying, well, a good healthy 5 to 10% dip is good. They've been saying that forever. So I wonder if they start buying when we get that 5 to 10%.
Baba earnings on Thursday. I know you've been trying to play that one from the long side. I
did play it for the long side. I shared it, and it exceeded my expectations. So I'm not long Baba here. You know me on earnings, Baba or not. Earnings, I say this and people don't believe it. They say, oh, I'm going to go take the bull side on the earnings because they're going to deliver a good report. It doesn't matter what kind of a report they deliver. The short-term reaction for the earnings is completely binary, meaning it's a coin flip. We never know how they're going to react to the report, regardless of its quality. We've seen companies deliver huge reports and then they get sold 10, 15%. And conversely, somebody delivers a stinker, but then they rally. So we never know the reaction short term. So if I were to go long Baba with conviction, I would wait until after the report. If I wanted to play the report, I usually do a lottery ticket, meaning a sum of money that's not going to bring my piggy bank or my heart, just to participate. And then I will take the big position afterwards with information in hand.
Procter & Gamble just in a steady downtrend here. $92 a few days ago, now trading in the 86 handle. Big, getting hit with a couple of the other, dividend stocks, worry about interest rates. See a couple lows, 3-4 lows under 86. Nick, any thoughts on Procter & Gamble?
Yes, I don't know the fundamental reason why it's doing this, but I don't like the price action there. I quickly drew some sort of a head and shoulder looking thing. So it is crucial that it finds footing soon, or that it should go lower. I don't know the fundamental reason, like I said, that where it's coming down here, but it does have the recent support zone. It has bounced, between 86 and 85, found support. It needs to continue doing that. Otherwise, lower 80s would be the next level that gets tested, which is 83 and between 83 and 82. I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying if they don't find footing here, that's where they go.
Amgen. And we could get to all this healthcare news in a little bit. Amgen, I believe this is all-time highs here, stuck over $200 yesterday, trading in the red a little bit. Nick, thoughts on Amgen? Dennis, spoos are down 17 here at 36 and a quarter.
Amgen was a measured move. I can't go long it here just because of my personal nature. I don't chase stocks. It tends to rally and then give back some. It's kind of choppy if you look at it. This is a weekly chart I just posted. So technically there was a zone they busted through, and here they are. Short of a base resetting reason for me, I don't chase it up here. If I'm long, I'm happy. I book some definitely. I don't mind leaving money on the table. When I say I book some, because I definitely don't mind leaving money on the table. The worst thing in the world, the worst feeling for me is to have profits and then just sit on them until they disappear. So I like to book profits somehow.
Bristol Myers, BMY, earnings next week. This is for Dr. J.
Yeah, Bristol Myers was tight until a couple of weeks ago, technically tight, and it had two ways that it can break out or break down. They tested a downside, and then they decided, okay, up we go, and they did. So with the catalyst coming up, I don't know how it usually reacts on earnings, but the initial reaction will be a coin flip. It's still a bullish chart, and if they can beat 66, it's a huge cup and handle that might have an extra, I don't know, $7 into it. So if they could let's put it this way, they could retest 71 if they can break 66-ish, technically speaking.
Okay, before we get to the other moving stocks, I want one more for you here for Samir Dasa in the Google chat, ALGN.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
ALGN.
I know what you're going to say. I missed the boat being long on this one.
No, they're down this morning, are they not?
$1.17, Nick. Come on.
That's the Invisalign people, I believe. It's the people
what do they do?
The Invisalign, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Is that for the teeth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So if that's the case, I have a couple of friends who love to be long this stock, and they've been telling me to get long for a long time, and I've been saying it's too high. So don't take advice from me on this one. I missed it. However, I have seen a lot of commercials for $99 a month, and I don't think it was this brand. So they might have competition down the line. But it's a successful company so far, successful stock. I don't have the reason to tell you to get off it, but you know where you book profits. As far as valuations are concerned, 85 PE, little rich. If you consider Apple, let's put it this way: Apple is under 18, 19, whatever it is, PE. This one is 80, 90. So. Just they don't have anything to do with each other, but as an absolute comparison on valuation.
Two things for you, Nick. Brett 352 wants to know if the blue and red areas on your charts are the VWAP.
No, that's a simple regression. When somebody says reverting to the mean, that's what that is.
Okay, and I just want to talk to you about the move in healthcare this morning. You saw the news. I mean, is it for, are you going sniping on these things right away? You going to give it a day or two to shake out? Or is this a major fundamental, a major change in healthcare? And, get away, get out of these stocks while you can. Aetna, Walgreens, CVS.
Yeah, United Health and all that. So I could tell you that, Amazon is a formidable woe, right? You can't just take it lightly. I think you're talking about that headline, right? Amazon, Berkshire, and JP Morgan, was it? Okay, so two things. I don't think this is the brick and mortar retail sector, say Macy's 10 years ago, because these guys, first of all, Amazon is not alone in here, and I don't think the other two they wouldn't fancy thin margins, even though Amazon is the master of thin margins. So the fact that it's down could be an opportunity. Waiting a day would not be a bad idea, just because the whole market is red and it's getting redder by the minute. So there's not a lot of margin to lose. So if you look at the bottom line for these stocks, they're thinly margined already. So I don't want to, I want to catch the falling knife, but it's not that big of a falling knife yet. So I'm not compelled to jump in with both feet, but I could nibble.
Okay, we're going to let you go. That's Nick Chahine. He's the author of Create Income with Option Spreads. We're going to bring Dennis back on. Thanks, Nick. We'll chat with you in a little bit.
Sure thing.
Ps are continuing.
S&Ps, yeah, Joel, your mic just cut out there. Say that part again.
Okay, S&P futures are trading in the red by 18 handles at 35.5. We got our target here. We've already traded almost the average daily range. 30.75 is your low from Thursday, 31 even. So it looks like a test to that. Dennis, what are you?
You've got me on this bet, Joel. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know what you're doing.
So maybe somebody in the chat will take me 4-1 the other way, so I can hedge myself or something, because this is across the board. I mean, we are looking at stocks in every single sector getting hit here the hard this morning. Your financials, which sometimes buck the trend, not today. Goldman Sachs down $2. Bank of America down over 1%. Citigroup down over 1% here in the pre-market trading. MetLife, we haven't even talked about. They had some bad news on a charge last night. Reported preliminary numbers, and they're disappointed. They're down 6%. There's just a lot of sectors that are getting the beats here this morning, and I do not think I'm getting this stake. I do not think I'm getting 5 stakes from you, but I had to take it just because of the odds.
Okay.
I'm still trying to justify it, even though everything in my spiny senses says I just gave you a steak dinner.
I know. And usually we do these over longer term things, and I got you on a day one. It's the cold streak continues for Dennis.
You've got me on this one.
All right.
Steak again. JK is calling it steak again. Yeah, that's what it is.
I imagine the imbalances here have to be primarily to the downside.
They
right?
are just wicked to the sell side. It's not helping my cause. Coke 104,000 to sell. JP Morgan 111,000 to sell. Goldman Sachs 41,000 to sell. Bank of America 260,000 to sell. That's just the financials. Pfizer off their earnings report 361,000 to sell. They do not want to own Pfizer this morning. Let's go to those ugly healthcare stocks. CVS 28,000 to sell. UNH 24,000 to sell. It's a $231 stock with a 24,000 share sell and balance. So that's significant. All the other ones selling balances too. Jump over here to a few other sectors. Alibaba 86,000 to sell. Juniper, which reports tonight, I believe they have 33,000 to sell this morning. Coke, yeah, we already said that one. Bank America, they're all like, I'm having trouble finding a buy and balance. Twitter has a buy and balance here this morning, 95,000 shares. So Twitter is holding up quite well actually this morning, just because this buy and balance is helping it out. Fast money traders helping it out as well. I don't know if that's going to continue to hold here after the regular session with the annihilation of the market, but as of right now, Twitter would open higher if it opened right now.
All right. What do you think about this scenario? You know, we sell off today, tomorrow, maybe wander on Thursday, and then get great number. I don't know about Apple, but, 2 out of the 3 big guns, great number. We have like a 35 handle open, like a huge open right back at all-time highs. And then that's when you seriously do some selling, long-term selling, lighten up the portfolio. No?
You were trying to get me to long-term sell for the last 5 years, and that would have been a mistake. I will tell you, the way this market is, if we get a significant sell-off, I will be adding to my invest portfolio. I am underinvested. All I care about is my ratio. And, if you're a long-term trader, it's one thing. But, as an investor, all I care about is my cash component and how much I have. I have too much cash. I've had too much cash. I'm like those other portfolio managers. I've had too much cash all the way up. And on pullbacks here, and in certain sectors, and I'm not talking a 2 or 3% pullback, I'm talking a significant pullback, I would be adding to it. So, but we know I pick stocks, and I always like to buy the sectors that are out of favor in my invest portfolio, and it seems to work. I love contrarian investing, not contrarian trading, because it seems like you go with the flow, it's easier to trade. But as an investor, I like it when there's blood in the waters and everybody's throwing the stocks out. Now you can say, well, that's the case today in the healthcare stocks. I think it's early, very early in those healthcare providers. Let's look at UNH again. I mean, just put it in perspective. You have run on UNH in the last year from $160 up to $250, down to $230. It's a pullback. It is a pullback. But there's some fundamental news here that I think the market's got to take its time to digest. If you're buying win the first day after, you were dead wrong, because the first day after on that win news, just like we had 3 days ago, 3-day example here for you, was obviously it closed around 180. Well, we're at 160, 161. We are bouncing off that 160 we talked about in the pre-market, but you don't want to strike on these things early. When they're going straight down on hard candles, almost always a little bit of fall through the next day. That's why I've always said I like the 2-day move here. We're on day 1 of the sell-off for all these healthcare providers here. So let it sink in. Let's see, what the analysts are saying, because there's probably some analysts that maybe going to have chase price with some downgrades as well. You've always got to consider that. So you don't need to strike early. I know it feels like in this market, if you don't buy the pullback right away, not going to get the second chance. And, it has been the case, but when there's been fundamental news, some of these stocks stay down for a while.
Real quick here, GE got a nice boost. Gabelli came in, said he was on it, and then Kevin O'Leary said you're crazy and went back down.
Wait, you cut out again. Say the last part again. Sorry. Your mic is being bugged. We're having a lot of gremlins today.
I hear him fine. I hear him good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Chad, how are you hearing Joel? I hear Joel.
It might just be me. Okay, it might just be me. Never mind then.
No. Big T said lost audio too. There's definitely something going on there. There's some gremlins in that Skype.
All right, GE, just trying to put in a bottom here at $16. So we're running a minute over here. I don't know where Cheetah and Soho are. They were in the chat at midnight last night, so they're probably sleeping. But
if chat's running at midnight now,
yeah. If you need some trading action here, and I'll try and wake up in the middle of the night and join it. Cheetah was in at 12:05, and Soho in at 12:05 as well. So. Anybody in before those guys tomorrow gets a free trial to Benzinga Pro.
All right. Before we go, I want to just do some quick ratings. The biggest one that jumped out to me, I like it when analysts make pair trade calls or go bullish and bearish on stocks within an industry or sector. We had that this morning with JP Morgan downgrading Southwest and Alaska Air, and upgrading United and JetBlue. The upgrades to overweight, the downgrades were to downgrade to neutral on both of those guys. That was the biggest rating that jumped out to me. Dennis, anything catch your eye?
You know what? We can talk to UAL just quickly here, because UAL, if I'm just looking here, at the chart, we did put in a double bottom from the last couple of days, 65.44, 65.46. Now we lift up. You have a mark now.
Yep.
So I would say, a thing reaches $65, then you want to get out. But if you want to put it on for a trade and follow it, I think you could get a shot at it's going to open up here this morning. But there's so much blood in the waters, it might pull back a little bit. Get anywhere in the 65 handle. Maybe upper 65s. Maybe you take a shot. Breaches 65, though, I don't want any part of it, because I need to be in breakdown mode again. But you have a mark at least now here, Joel.
All right. That's it. Spencer, what's on the docket for tomorrow?
On tomorrow's show, we're joined by Mark Chahine at 8:15, and at 8:35, we have Todd Gordon from tradinganalysis.com and a frequent, not fat. He's on Halftime Report a lot on CNBC. So Todd Gordon and Mark Chahine on tomorrow's show. If you want to catch any part of today's show, you can do so on the podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, or just go to Benzinga's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Benzinga TV. Hope you all had a good morning and you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you folks on Wednesday.